Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Uncle on the Couch podcast, man. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. I appreciate everybody for liking, subscribing, tuning in, sharing, whatever it is you did, whoever you told, any of those things, man. It's all appreciated. So thank you. The feedback, I appreciate all of the feedback, man. I'm getting there. Y'all witnessing the climb, so I appreciate it. Oh man, I think I got another good topic, man. Something that was kind of hitting me kind of hard. Honestly, is yeah. I get to it, man. I save all of that, but you know, I think I want to jump right into this one. So from me to you, cheers. Oh man. Ah, all right, all right. So I happen to be having a conversation, and that conversation was about me. Two different conversations actually. Um, and in those conversations, the tone of those conversations was areas of opportunity for myself. Often I run into those situations where people don't necessarily know how to frame those conversations. So when I do have those conversations, I'm pretty receptive of them, or I like to at least think that I am. But coincidentally, this was a topic or conversation that I experienced rather than um, it being something that it was just something that I was completely unaware of. So the topic itself was basically not casting people off. So I was told that I have that tendency to be very strict, quote unquote, that once I guess I'm decisive in that manner. So once I decide, hey, I'm not dealing with this, I don't want to deal with this person, they're not worth whatever. I shouldn't say that. That sounded terrible. But they're not, I'm not giving my time to that situation. That's when it's like you don't even give anybody any area to grow. You don't give anybody any room to improve. It's just, hey, I decided I'm not doing this. I don't want to deal with this, and boom, you on to the next thing. And I had to do some thought, some take some accountability to really kind of realize those things because it was feedback that I never gotten before, but it was feedback that I've given before. So for me, it was where did that come from? What has that looked like in my life? I know typically nowadays being strict is cool. It's what people look for. It's the easiest cop out per se. But for me, it was one of those situations where it didn't make me feel good that I got that feedback because I not only assessed my professional life, but also my personal life to say, where am I doing this? Why am I doing it? How am I doing it? How does that show up in my day to day? Or how does that show up through nurturing relationships, you know, a friendship or a romantic relationship or any of those kinds of things? Like what does that look like in my life? So I did some deep diving, um, which wasn't it wasn't fun. Didn't feel good. Didn't look good, honestly. Um, but I really had to kind of assess myself and figure out what's the best course of action for me to correct that trait. I would say. Why am I thinking like that? And I came up with so many different things, so many different things. So it wasn't just one thing that led me to being able to think that way or maneuver that way or any of those kinds of things. It was a multitude of things. Um, but as I kind of went through some of that, of course, recognizing that in myself, I recognized some of those same patterns in people that were close to me or people that I interact with at work or any of those kinds of things to where then it shifted to if I'm realizing this, who else is dealing with this? Who else is struggling with this? Who else can I help? Who else can I say, hey, look, I just realized I do the same thing. How did you fix it? Or how did you get better about whatever that thing was. So that was where it led me here, back on the couch to kick some game with y'all. So that's kind of what I want to go through today. I think it's something that we all struggle with a lot. Well, I shouldn't say we all. I'm not going to generalize everybody. I know that I struggle with it, or I have struggled with it, but I'm sure there are other people that deal with the same exact things. That sorry if y'all heard that. That deal with the same things and that don't necessarily want to continue to be that way. It's not something that I've been proud of. I guess in the introspect of thinking back on, me displaying those attributes and all of those kinds of things, it didn't feel good. In the moments, yeah, I thought I was doing the right thing, and honestly, my heart wasn't malicious. I didn't do anything with malicious intent. So let me precurse this and say, I wasn't just out here smacking people upside the head or nothing like that, but it was still the way that I went about carrying out certain tasks or interacting with certain people, or all of those kinds of things. It was very cut and dry, and not all the times is that something good. It can not only be detrimental to that person, but also detrimental to you, or myself. So I definitely had to really kind of examine myself. So y'all getting full vulnerability today. Y'all are getting me in the midst of processing, of understanding myself, of being self-aware and understanding that I'm growing, I'm different. So yeah, we can jump into it. All right, so to kind of jump into it, man, like I think the biggest thing that I've learned throughout this period of kind of reflecting and understanding myself throughout this topic, not discarding people or not discarding their growth and allowing them to show different. It it is tricky, but it not only helps that person, but it helps you. It helps you recognize where people are, how to identify where people are, how to identify what real growth looks like, versus bad patterns and bad behaviors. Because a lot of times, I know myself, I will be 100% honest and say, hey, if this person constantly filled this cup up with water, but I was expecting apple juice. And every day I'm like, man, I'm never getting my apple juice. I got to tell you, I want apple juice, but you keep filling it up with water. Eventually, naturally, a person would just be like, you know what, never mind. I'll do it myself. Don't worry about it. I get my own apple juice. But if that person says, hey, I apologize, I was making a mistake, I thought I was doing something good, I'll make sure you got apple juice from now on. If I'm still that person to say, nah, don't worry about it, I'm going to do it myself, I don't want you involved in nothing, I'm going to do this. Now I'm doing a disservice to that person, but I'm also doing a disservice to myself. Giving people those opportunities, there's blessings in that. There's help in that. There's relation in that. There is so many opportunities to build a person, but not only build that person, but strengthen yourself throughout those interactions or those instances where you want to say, nah, I'm good, or you want to say, nah, I'll handle this from now on. It kind of gives you those opportunities, or presents those opportunities, like I said, for you to really kind of identify, okay, well, this person really is growing. I got my apple juice every day, and it's cold, and it's the brand I like, or whatever. But you really kind of gotta figure out what that looks like for you. So not everything I'm saying is gonna be copy and paste to where it's like, yeah, this is how I live my life. This is how I apply certain things. This may not work. Some of it does work. So I'm a precursor, or not precursor. I'm lying. But I guess I'll give a quick little warning label to the black warning label. Hey man, look, I don't know though. So all the advice I'm saying, I already said, I don't know. So if you take it, it works. If you don't, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Don't come tell me it didn't work. Don't be listening to the dude on YouTube and be like, hey man, ain't none of this work. You out here lying. I ain't tell you to take it. So, but nah, man. Figuring out what that actually looks like in your life is it'll do paramount. It'll be paramount to pretty much anything else it is that you do in this realm. It'll help you be able to navigate those situations a lot better. It'll help you be able to self-regulate a lot better. It'll help you understand yourself a lot better and your limitations and boundaries. But it's also doing that self-work that y'all continuously hear me preach about, man. Self-work is everything. I've learned that the hard way, but it's been a crazy journey, man. And the more that I'm constantly investing in myself, the more that I'm naturally having these conversations, or I'm finding these opportunities to say, dang, I didn't realize this was something that I'm doing so brash or so abrasive or any of those things, man. So I would caution against people being so strict, and give people the opportunity to showcase growth. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because there are some people that will use that, they'll abuse that. There are some people that genuinely just don't really know what change looks like, and there's I shouldn't say there's nothing wrong with that, but that's their prerogative. Word to Bobby Brown. But it's something that you can't control. So 90% of the time, I'll give you an example. So if 90% of the time you are strict and you're like, yeah, this ain't working out. You dealing with a woman and you like, hey man, 90% of the time I'm sticking to my boundaries. She ain't following this, she ain't following that, whatever. You had that conversation to say, hey, I don't like these things. This isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working, that isn't working. She takes all of that feedback and she says, cool, I'm going to fix all of these things. I'm going to be a lot better. I'm going to do whatever it is that you ask him. If you never give her that opportunity, then you're missing out on a potential wife or a potential best friend or great companion, or whatever that relationship would entail for the example. But if you give her that opportunity, that 10% of that time that you're doing that, you're not only building her, you're strengthening your relationship with her, but then you're building yourself as a man to say, hey, look, I noticed these things, but we had a conversation. We had a clarifying conversation, and we were able to work through some issues. We were able to kind of understand each other. Understand each other a lot better. But then we've also got a great pace or baseline for whatever your relationship is. So I would say that, fellas, it's okay to not be strict. I know the internet will tell you to cut people off and do whatever the internet says. The internet is a strange place, but please don't listen to the internet. I know I'm on the internet saying this, but y'all know what I mean by don't listen to the internet, man. Like some of these posts and some of the stuff that people say, I promise you, it's all just for engagement. None of it is actually meant to really help you. So I would caution against the need to consistently be strict, man. Because at a certain point you gotta realize, or kind of gotta ask yourself, like, is being strict the right thing for you? In some situations, yes, it 100% will be. So please don't, like I said, this isn't copy and paste and apply it to any and everything. There are going to be times where it's like, yeah, this is my boundary. I'm sticking to it. I'm not dealing with nothing else. But if it's something else, then why not fall into that 10% of giving somebody the chance to say, hey, look, I course corrected, or I gave you the opportunity, I gave you some feedback. Now I want to see what you do with it. And women, please do that for some of these men. Y'all could be missing out on some good men, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there are tons of good men out here that man might have said he don't like sandals or something, and you done been like, you know what, I don't want to ever want to talk to you again. He could be the man that you was supposed to marry or something. I don't know, but give people that opportunity, man. Especially, I think in leadership, and leadership doesn't just apply to people's careers. It doesn't just apply to your home setting of leading your marriage or your children or any of those kinds of things, but all of those scenarios, man, I think it's okay to give people the opportunity to show different. Change is okay. People typically do change. They grow. Nobody's still the same. I'm 33 and I'm not the same guy that I was when I was 16. So, people grow. Some people don't grow in great ways, but everybody grows, man. And there's nothing wrong with investing in each other, especially if it's a situation where you care for a person or you like to be around a person or whatever any of those things are, man. It's okay. Your life is your journey. It's not a race. It's a marathon. Live it, understand it, give yourself the opportunities, be patient with yourself. There isn't any one way to live a life. There isn't any one way to interact with people, man. So I think throughout all of the kind of stuff that I said, the overarching message is really just give people an opportunity. Change is constant. It's something that's going to happen. It's something that you can even aid in. You can help people. I think a lot of that is missing, that the ease of being selfish in so many ways leads us to casting a lot of people off and treating everything in this microwave society like it's replaceable. And sometimes it's not. Or even if it is, it still may not bring you may miss your blessing. And I know, as cliche as it sounds, you may miss your blessing by being able to give somebody that opportunity or showcasing those things to somebody. So that would be my, I guess my message for that, man. It's like I said, it's something that I was always on the opposite end, or I thought I was. I was the one receiving the discard or the I can't even think of the word that I'm thinking of, but I was always the one that felt like I was the person that I'm not getting the opportunity to show, like, hey man, look, I took the coaching, I did this, I'm trying to be this, or I'm trying to do this. And it always led to me feeling like, well, damn, am I ever gonna get this opportunity? Am I ever gonna be able to show who I am or what I am? For those people, man, take the opportunity. It don't matter who it is that won't give you the opportunity. Go find it with somebody else. So that's job or person or whatever. But and that's, of course, within reason. So once again, please don't take any of this and be like, hey man, look, after one chance, I'm gone. I ain't doing nothing, man. Like, life don't work like that. It don't work like that at all, man. I have been in situations where people have had to tell me stuff multiple times, and it wasn't done with any malice. I didn't forget because I didn't care or nothing like that. It was just like, all right, cool, man. It slipped my mind. So give people that opportunity to change, have those conversations, communicate, man. Clarifying conversations clear up so much. And once again, none of this is just applicable to relationships or romantic relationships. Apply it in your professional life, or in networking opportunities, or just interacting with a stranger, man, or a friend, or whatever it is. These are all things that, like I said, I've really kind of taken the time to kind of assess for myself, to be like, you wasn't necessarily always this way. So where did that come from? And I think for myself, a lot of that kind of came from trauma, really. It was my feelings of feeling like that I never got the opportunity, or I didn't get the opportunity to show different, or when I did get the opportunity, I just squandered it. So I think for me, I immediately became the other person to say, all right, well, I ain't dealing with none of that because I have been that person. And I know I was messing up, and I know that took a lot of patience, and I ain't got patience. So I don't want to deal with this, and I don't want to deal with that. And it led me to now being, like I said, in this point to where I've had two people be like, hey man, it's okay to give people an opportunity to show different. You don't have to just off with people's head and that's it. Like you can coach, you can talk, you can communicate. You communicate fairly well. So what's wrong with saying X, Y, and Z? And that was where, like I said, having those kinds of people who don't mind having those conversations, they know how to have those conversations. Those are good things. So if you are that person that is very cut and dry, you're to the point, and you're no nonsense or strict or whatever it is, always remain teachable. There's nothing wrong with somebody telling you, hey, look, you suck at this. And I think a lot of times we get lost in whoever the messenger was rather than the message. Of course, as cliche as it sounds, it happens a lot. Because I can be completely honest and say that if there are some people that had they delivered that message, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm straight. Matter of fact, you cut off now. I ain't trying to hear that. So being able to really kind of have those conversations with yourself, or those realizations with yourself, man, I'm telling you, they help. They help a lot, man. They help a lot. So that would be something that, like I said, I caution against the whole super strict movement. Yes, have your boundaries. Yes, tolerate or don't tolerate certain things, but anything within reason, man, is always at least worth a conversation, at least one conversation. I ain't saying you got to have 10 or 20 conversations or nothing like that, but at least one conversation to say, hey, look, this is what needs to be fixed. Let's fix this, and so on and so forth. Get those opportunities to each other, and the world will be fine, man. We ain't all got to be the Dolphins. That's all I'm saying. For those of y'all that don't get that reference, earlier this week, I think, or in the last week, the Dolphins got rid of everybody. Everybody and their mama done got either fired or released or whatever from the Dolphins. Hell, I think I got fired from the Dolphins actually. But man, it's crazy. I think I seen they saved like 60 some million in cap space or something like that. That's crazy for a team that nobody wants to play for. So that's impressive, but terrible. But since they got rid of Tyreek Hill, we already know where you're going. I mean, I would hope he going back to Kansas City. It would only make sense. Go ahead, get him back with Pat. I'm sure they're gonna get another ring and all of that. But I think that'd be a smoother move for him, man. Like that'd be super dope. Also, with that though, while we on the topic of NFL, Mr. Derek Carr is talking about he's considering coming back out of retirement, and he only wants to play for Super Bowl contenders and the whole BS9. So Saints organization, please get that man out of New Orleans. Get whatever you can get. Get 7 draft picks. Get 1 draft pick. I don't care. Get something and get him out. Get him off the books. Get his paperwork out of New Orleans. Get it out of Louisiana. Get all of it. Get him up out of here. But Anthony Richardson, I mean, hey man, they say he's finna ask for a trade, so come get him. Come on, New Orleans. Come on, man. We need some help. I'm not a believer in Tyler. He's okay. Played decent towards the end of the year, but I don't think my man's got it. I don't think he got it at all, especially not especially not for what that team needs. I'm a fan. I love the team, but we need help badly, very badly. So please, come on, man, do something, please. What else we got going on, man? The Winter Olympics is happening. I watched some of the bobsledding. I think it was a bobsled. I think it was a bobsledding. Um, Interesting, very interesting. I think I've maybe watched like two Winter Olympics, honestly. So I ain't gonna go too deep into that, but it's pretty cool though. I think there was like a snowstorm or something that was happening. So like the camera views and like all of the pictures and stuff, like all of that was super dope. So I think that was cool, but like everything else, I hate the cold. So like anything that's cold adjacent, I'm like, I don't really mess with this. I don't even like ice. Like, I'm good on all of the cold and all of that, man. Like I feel like Giannis when he was like, hey, look, what the reporter asked him, um, or what I think it was like a fan or something as he was walking into All-Star game or the actual game. He was like, we need you in Miami or something like that, something to that effect. And Giannis was like, yeah, for vacation. Like, I'm one of them. Get me where it's warm and we good, man. Like I'm straight on all of the cold. I don't do none of that. I hate the cold. I hate wearing a hoodie right now. I like the hoodie, but I hate having to wear a hoodie. I don't do none of that cold stuff, man. But I had another conversation that was pretty interesting, man. So had a conversation about the GOAT black movie, greatest of all time, black movie. I think, in my opinion, Friday is the GOAT black movie. And I know some people will probably hear that and be like, what? What you talking about? First off, hear me out. It's it was the original Friday. Low budget film that of course surpassed expectations, but then became a cultural classic and then arguably a cinematic classic, to be completely honest. In the sense of what that movie did. Not production wise, it wasn't nothing spectacular, nothing to it. But that makes it even better that there was nothing spectacular to it, and look what that movie did. It even spawned into a franchise, which know and love. Like that's super dope. Word to Ice Cube, man. Like that's super dope. So that's part of why it's greatest of all time black movie. But then look at the cast, man. Like if somebody were to recreate that type of movie today, there's no way to do it with that cast, with it being a low budget film. Like that film would have to be crazy expensive. The budget would have to be crazy, man. So what Ice Cube did with that is forever my GOAT for black movies, man. So y'all let me know what y'all like for the GOAT of black movies. I'm still sticking with Friday. I think close second, my close second would be um I didn't get that far in the conversation because I was defending Friday for like a solid 30 minutes. But I would say if I had to give a number two, um, I don't know. That's hard. That's hard. So just off the top of the dome, I got Dead Presidents and Soul Men kind of tied for my two. I know Soul Men wasn't that big. Dead Presidents at the time, I think it was big. I don't know. I was born in the 90s, so I have no idea. But I feel like it was pretty big. Somebody correct me on that. But I think that's like my top three I'll go with. So yeah, y'all let me know on that one. But another little conversation I had actually shortly ago. Elite struggle meals, man. So I know folks sleep on peanut butter and jellies. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen the discourse the couple of times I've tweeted about this. First off, strawberry jelly is superior. Grape jelly is terrible. I don't know why y'all still eat it. It's horrible. But strawberry, fire. So PB&J, strawberry jelly, fire every time. So that's Elite Struggle Meal 1. And then, of course, Hamburger Helper. Like, I know everybody swear they Hamburger Helper good. Everybody swear they can make the best Hamburger Helper, all that. First off, you can't because I do. So ain't nobody trying to hear all that. But Hamburger Helper is the elite. It's the elitist of struggle meals, actually. Is struggle meal king, first off. Hamburger Helper is superior to any struggle meal. It's low key so superior, it's damn near not even a struggle meal no more. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I know some of y'all too rich for all that. Everybody eating steak and lobster 15 times a week and all of that. But Hamburger Helper is fire. This is low key a staple meal at any day of the week. Hamburger Helper I'm good with, as long as it's made right. Some folks don't know how to make it. But my Hamburger Helper, fire. I ain't made it in a minute, and I just might because I've been talking about it for like the past couple of hours. So yeah, I'm gonna get to that Hamburger Helper. But y'all let me know on that one too. Elite Struggle Meals, what you got on that one? PB&J, strawberry jelly, strawberry only, strawberry only. Actually, crunchy peanut butter too. That's how you really kind of set it off. That's that little bit of man. That crunchy peanut butter, crazy. But yeah, Hamburger Helper. The stroganoff is top tier. Uh, damn. What's the other one with the potatoes? That one fire too. Um, damn. There's another one that's fire. I can't even think of it. But yeah, Hamburger Helper, definitely. Um, But yeah, man, you gotta kind of keep it light sometimes. After I know I was pretty heavy in the beginning, but you gotta keep it light, man. So I love to balance these episodes out. I know I've gotten feedback on like the direction and the flow, and people love it, and I appreciate it. I really do, because once again, y'all witnessing the climb. You gotta be terrible at this shit before you get good at it. So I'm in my stage of I'm still learning. I'm getting my flow. I'm having the conversations. I got my topics and all of that kind of stuff. So this is cool, but I wanna give y'all more of me, more of my personality, more of what it's like to, like I said, come kick it on the couch with me. So um, let's see what else. What else I got, man? Oh, the what is it? The Cherry 13s, I think. Yeah, I think they come out next month. Need them. Need them. Anybody who can give me them early, holla at me. I needs them. Like that's my shoe. Um, yeah, so I definitely need them, man. But that's all I got, man. I really want to stop through and holler at y'all about the first topic, man, or the first portion of this episode, man. Giving people that opportunity to grow, it'll do numbers for yourself. Being able to, like I said, give somebody that opportunity to showcase different and see how people grow, man. It's a beautiful thing, I promise you. But also, kind of finding what that looks like in your life and how you can apply that, man. So I would encourage everybody to do that, man. Stay blessed, stay black. It is still our month. Um, but until next time, man, I'll holla at y'all. Peace.